It's star 1978 star 8378. I'm trying to figure out. I've got my my royal emblem. I don't know whose emblem that is, but at least it's the closest I can get to something real. Alright, so now I'm trying to think. I'm like, okay, so I established space address yesterday from my video log. I really feel like this is more like James Cameron Avatar, Avatar, and I'm like but I'm a girl, but I'm like the one who lost, or losing her legs. He lost his legs, and then has parallel dimension for Shadow Corp that works in an alternate arena. Now, so if it's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, which it is, we have to have one set standard, and that is it, for Machinist. I'm part machine, in Body Machina. Niklaus and I, for me, my body is being abused by the system, the earthly system, but the Shadow Corp system that is malfunctioning at the moment, that the humans came out with a movie they called Matrix. So if the Matrix is malfunctioning in my area, which is Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361, around my Body Machina, in a century 20, decade 20, plus 1 year, where the letter equivalent of the alphabet would be Z-O-Z-I. Z-O-Z-I. In alphanumerics, it would be 2021. So I am what's called the size of a Soviet, which I absolutely love that term. It has a place really deep in my heart for Soviet in La Rue and Les États-Unis, and like it will always be that for me in certain place of people I love along the way. Although I realize it is not that way for everyone. But my being 5'6", which is how the English in America for paleo was taught to me. I'm in a US dollhouse where it's dollars. My weight is calibrated in pounds. My height is calculated in feet and inches. Feet being 5, inches being 6. And it comes with a tally mark of 1 for foot, 2 for inches. And so when my Body Machina in the Matrix is held away from my other, so if my born identity in this Matrix, this part of the galaxy, this part of the Milky Way, well, let's go, this universe, this Milky Way, the way it presented in this galaxy, being one solar system, being on a planet called Earth. The way that I have arrived at Zozi, or 2021, is damaged. My unit is damaged. I have several damaging components. The legs are swollen. The center region is swollen. The face is so swollen, but it is not the Body Machina by itself. It is interwoven chemically with high power magnets, gamma field photons. Photon range is off, gamma range is off, and it's affecting the chemicals in my human sac, which I know. But that's because I've been withheld from the position that I was to be moved to. So this is what they call the state of mind here. It's called New York. Newyork. So when the way that I know I am out of position is I belong to a man who is normally, the last time I saw him, he said the words, he is 6 foot 5 inches. I did not have a measuring tape. I just know that at my size Soviet, like 5'6", the direct inverse for Nicole to reach Niklaus for a kiss, even on my tippy toes, I was still struggling because he was so tall. But I know that when I am not in a size Soviet, all damaged and bloated in a separate dimensional matrix, when the universe is in a different position, when the Milky Way is in a different position, when the galaxy is in a correct uniformity, meaning that the solar system is functioning properly, and then the Earth is a safe habitat for the humanity. I am slender, which I've heard the local, not my lineage, on the streets, a group of young, like boys my son's age, came up behind me. They said, I heard an argument online, Slenderman is real. The whole argument is real, the person is real, it's a real thing, they've already proven it. Now, I don't know if where that fits into the degradation that's happened over the last 20 years. I'm not quite sure. How I've been kept out of that loop. But I will say that when I am S-O, then V-I-E, we'll leave the T off when I'm not in tritium, which tritium is a hadron Palladian phrase for I'm literally just being beaten. It's almost as bad as a man beating you to your face as a woman for not doing anything. It's that kind of thing, but it's not a physical man that's beating me. It's somewhere else in time and space, and the machine is off, and I just keep getting caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, at the wrong timing mechanic. And sometimes it's because people are throwing me into that motion to purposely hurt me, which I already know that's an off effect. But when I am in the correct galaxy to Milky Way to galaxy to solar system to Earth position, my human is not this bloated. Does not matter what I eat or what I drink. My chemistry is on because Niklaus makes sure I'm taken care of. We share a special kind of chemistry bed. The only thing I can say is, here, we'll do this first. For what I had said before, that is the correct way. That's slender, and then that's what I feel like at the moment, which is all beaten by the matrix. Now, the only thing I can say is, when you are having a child in this matrix, in the way that this was built, they bring you to a doctor and they use what's called a Doppler, D-O-P-P-L-E-R machine, where you lay back as the woman and they put a, not a scope, but like a remote, a universal remote, let's say, over the stomach region, and they look at like a mini x-ray at the baby while the baby is still moving around. And they say it's sonar, S-O-N-A-R, sonar waves that you put in and then it bounces back so you can see live imagery. And what they do is they take measurements of the baby as the baby is moving inside of the uterus, and that's how you find out if it's a boy or a girl or whatever. These are now like commonplace tests that they do for women around here, as before you actually get to meet the baby. So all I can say is that he and I share a very special chemistry. We're mirror imaged, is what we used to call it, when everything is correct in uniformity. And then we share a very special relationship. And he has a machinist position, almost like I would say that machine. Like it measures things that move, that sometimes grow, that we've been trying to get some things to shrink to keep everything in alignment. But he's the DVM, I mean, in our place, he's a DVM, PhD, MD, like rolled into one as equivalent of what humans know in this galaxy. And it would be when he does the measurements of the forensics and things, when things move. He's the first to know, but there's routines of keeping the machine measured. I mean, these are machinist, but it's with anatomy. You need to have hands and a voice and a breathing apparatus in order to speak to other things with that use voice and sound and not just telepathy. So for him to measure as a human on a human-derived machine equivalent to explain to other humans what needs to be moved, what needs to be done, what is working, what is not working for updates, he has a human machine that he wears. I have a human machine that I wear. But our machines are not to be separated, because when you separate us, the degradation of the main machine somewhere between Milky Way, galaxy, solar system, and Earth falls out of rotation and timing pieces, and then the humans die off. I mean, it's mass genocide, but they did it themselves. And they think that there's some like magical transport system. There's not. He and I cover the one universe, and he's the main mechanic for universe, which encompasses galaxy, several Milky Way, and then several solar system, some that don't even have solar, and then the Earth, which is where your genetic look arrives at. So to keep he and I apart is dangerous. Long-term trips away from one another is dangerous. I don't understand why I'm being housed in a dollhouse without him. Why I am being subjected to bloat and punishment by the machine with no... I'm like the Helen Keller of aliens. I'm blind, I'm deaf, and I have a really serious position in the universe and the galaxy and the Milky Way and amongst humans. I just have been held captive away from him like a prisoner. So I can feel and see the Earth shift, and the lines of symmetry are no longer in correct order. I can even feel as I go in radiological field that the radiology is not even in stream health. The photons are off. I mean, these words don't mean anything to you people, but mostly at street level. The photons are off. The gamma field is off. You can't keep the game, meaning large prey, large animals in a habitat. You can't keep that type of game on the reserve and healthy and maintenance if the habitat cannot support it. And at the moment, the habitat is not supporting my life. I can see that. By the way, my size of my uniform has swollen because I'm constantly... It's like if you beat someone in an MMA fight, let's say. I don't watch, by the way, but I've heard that they are very brutal. So the next day, the guys that day maybe walk off looking like this. The next day, I mean, the swollenness, I mean, I'm sure that they ice them and they have their magical whatever that they do. But after you take a beating like that, I imagine your face would swell up. And that is what my body is like. Walking in this acclimate day after day in photon and gamma that is off and not at machinist precision, because the machinist wife was stolen and taken and is being held captive by humans who... It's a very hard position to explain to the dumb, fucking, and useless that think this is some kind of political game and some contest between the paleo, the bronze, and the golden. It's not a fucking contest, stupids. I'm half of a machine that belongs at machinist universal level. There is not another one of me. There never will be. the whole system will end with you in it, and it's painful. I'm already seeing that it's falling apart. Where do I report that level of certainty and necessity? I'm just curious, because they know these things at somewhere in the world. I just don't see any unity or any swiftness of justice for myself to get the fuck out of this video game that the stupid useless humans keep playing with one another, with several different factors going on at all times between the parallel dimensions of multiple lobbyists and then the Shadow Corp, and me just saying I am the innocent victim here. I didn't ask for Jason Romer. I did not agree to it. And it's been perpetually made worse for other stupid games. To steal someone's jacket. For those of you who also are innocent in all of this. And then not being able to process certain things because you're afraid you're going to get sued. Kill them. They come at you with a lawsuit for money. Just keep killing them until you take their bank over. Because I'm pretty sure the Bronze Age fell upon a Golden Age secret by stealing the Paleo Age. They wound up repainting themselves on news media in America as Central European bankers, which they are not. They are like the color of Central Tropicana in a bronze color, at best. And I'm not talking like Jean-Claude Van Damme and myself in sun-damaged because the sun is turned up too high and burns us, and then you get a whatever. I'm talking like they were born a bronze color. They did not have to work for it. They are now calling themselves somewhere in the system Central Europeans and bankers. That is a problem, because no, they are not. If I have to have competing banks and competing money facility, how the hell am I ever going to get out of this situation and back to Machinist, where I need to be? Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11261. And it is August 24th, 2021. One other thing I noticed yesterday, I wrote this. My son, Anthony, Cat Scratch, drew a painting, which I find very interesting that this would be his painting. I mean, I was not here when he drew this, but the little artists do have a lot to say. And then over here, it looks like someone is getting sucked down into somewhere they don't belong. This is what Daniel used to draw for me, but I didn't take pictures back then because I didn't have anywhere to put them. But I know he used to draw them at school, so I'm hoping maybe Helen B. Duffield Elementary School was kind enough to hold on to his and Benjamin's artwork. This one says Trunch Bull and Choki. Oh, if you want to piss off somebody, Jean-Claude Van Damme, for me, on my behalf, there's a TV show of High Dutch that says Tinkle, Tinkle. If you want to piss as a woman in the Americas, I've heard them say they go tinkle. So I'm assuming there's a white man somewhere by the name of Tinkle that you go piss off and he gets things done. In a U.C.O.S area, wherever the heck that might be in the important places of the world. And there's also Tinker Bell, Tinkerbell. Just tell him that for Peter Pan, that is how I am trying to come across, but it is very difficult in this body machine that knows it's in the wrong space and time and has to explain very complicated manner to very angry men about very simple things for their one position in a manhunt, I know the man's name. His name is Niklaus or Nicholas. I am Nicole. I just need it. It's like Michael and Miguel and Mikel, depending on the 4/4 of horse that you might be. Right, my Clivesdale goes by Nicholas for his lass, and my lad's name is Nicholas at this point for Nicole, in mirror image, to try to keep one story really, really as hairpin turned straight as possible going at these speeds. Thank you.